可以。如果你哋有人未到嘅話，咁我就照翻7點15分先咯，冇乜所謂嘅。
可唔可以一出嚟嗰張相？
可以。
因為個咪兜或者
喺旁邊影嗰張相。係咯。冇問題。嗱，你哋話有啲咩要求講就得㗎啦。有咩揾阿 Connie 或者揾我？揾阿 Connie 或者揾我，或者我哋都你有3個選擇，我轉呢一個咧就全部當選埋啦，有一啲咧係我都要買。Yes, it's more than that because it's just finished, so we just think that in order to let you have smooth and early recording.
即係7點喎，即係7點咯。如果即係7點。
仲有邊個未有名單可以當選嘅名單？係咁，我答翻頭先阿 Connie。準時7點15分開始，因為頭先有行家話未到10點。Okay, we will get started punctually at 7:15, so in 4 minutes time. Okay, so please wait. But you guys want photo call first, right? And then we will get started. Okay, no problem.
誒
Photo call. So let's get a photo call first. Our 4 newly elected office bearers. 俾你哋影咗，我再介紹。你哋影相先。
前面影完可以行一行開啊！好，影完一係踎低，一係就散開。
我哋開始㗎啦噃，唔該晒，咁4位企喺中間，你哋影下先，影下先。各位傳媒朋友，大家好，我係趙麗如，今日會見傳媒嘅主持，唔好意思要大家久等，歡迎大家咧莅臨採訪今日嘅大律師公會周年大會。周年大會咧啱啱順利結束咗。企喺最中間最高嗰位咧，資深大律師毛樂禮咧係當選成為我哋香港大律師公會新任嘅主席嘅，而2位副主席咧分別係由許兆鼎資深大律師同埋薛日華資深大律師當選。嗰位女士咧就係薛日華資深大律師啦。許兆鼎資深大律師咧今日因事咧未能夠出席而家嘅會見傳媒環節嘅。至於名譽秘書及財政咧，就係由最近我呢一邊嘅嚴永生大律師繼續擔任嚇。咁喺我最右手邊嗰位咧，就係副名譽秘書，係由黃永海大律師繼續出任嘅。咁喺傳媒朋友咧繼續影相嘅同時咧，我好簡單用英文講一次，然後咧就盡快係俾我哋嘅主席咧係同大家作一個開場嘅發言嘅。Good evening. Sorry to have you waiting. I'm Bonnie Chiu, the host of today's Media Stand Up. Thank you for coming to cover the AGM of the Hong Kong Bar Association, which has just been concluded. In the middle, the tallest, Mr. Jose Antonio Morale SC, was elected as chairman. Mr. Martin Hui Siu Ting SC and Ms. Eva Sit Yet Hua SC were elected as the 2 vice chairmen. Mr. Martin Hui SC is unable to attend today's press session. Mr. Eugene Yim Wing Cheng was re-elected as the honorary secretary and treasurer, while Mr. Martin Wong Wing Hoi was also re-elected as the deputy honorary secretary. Chairman will now deliver an opening remarks in both Cantonese and English before taking questions. 主席咧而家係會先以廣東話發言，然後再用英文咧做佢嘅開場嘅。咁跟住先至會係答問時間。我而家將時間交俾我哋香港大律師公會新任嘅主席毛樂禮資深大律師，唔該。
各位傳媒朋友，大家好！我同我嘅團隊首先喺度感謝會員嘅信任同埋支持，令我哋當選成為新一任香港大律師公會主席、副主席 同埋執委。我感謝上屆執委會，特別係前主席杜鑑坤資深大律師同埋所有執委會成員過去3年服務公會、香港法律界同埋廣大市民。上屆執委會有大概3/4嘅委員留任或再次當選，反映公會團結、方向一致。當選唔單止係我哋嘅榮幸，亦同時係一項使命。維護法治同埋司法獨立一直係香港大律師公會嘅核心價值。過去75年從未改變，日後亦不會改變。喺過去1年，政府就《基本法》23條立法，完成咗重要嘅憲制責任。法例已經落實接近1年，法庭將會陸續審理相關案件。同時，社會上有聲音表示，2025年對香港嚟講係專注發展經濟嘅1年。經濟同法治唔單止冇衝突，反而係相輔相成，確保香港長期繁榮穩定。香港大律師公會作為一個專業團體，會一如既往秉持專業，繼續由法律嘅角度喺重大嘅法治議題上發聲。喺香港司法制度當中，大律師擔當重要嘅角色。公平審訊當然需要法院獨立運作，同時一樣重要嘅係與眾人可以尋找法律代表，特別喺刑事案。我哋嘅會員按不可拒聘原則，代表唔同嘅當事人出庭維護佢哋嘅受法律保障權利。公會另一樣重要嘅責任就係按法律執業者條例同埋我哋公會嘅行為守則，自我監管會員，維持行業應有嘅專業水平同埋崇高嘅道德操守，令市民得到最優質嘅法律服務。公會嘅監管制度獨立、公平，一直行之有效。新一屆嘅執委會繼續喺一個機制下規管會員。公會已經喺香港成立咗超過75年，一直用唔同嘅方式喺社會協助市民。公會嘅法律義助服務計劃喺過去24年，主要為一啲冇資源但係有理據嘅個案上訴。單喺過去10年已經收到大約2450宗求助，近1/4個案我哋嘅大律師提供咗法律意見或者親自代表當事人上庭，有個案成功上訴到終審法院。公會目前正研究點樣為市民提供更廣泛嘅法律義助服務，為國家培育法律人才，亦都係公會多年來工作重點。北京、上海、四川、浙江等普通法同國際仲裁課程將會繼續。如果資源允許，公會亦會考慮擴展。最後，農曆新年就到，祝各位喺蛇年身體健康，萬事如意。I'll now do the opening remarks in English. Thank you all for coming this evening. First of all, my team and I would like to thank the members of the Bar for their trust and support, which enabled us to be elected as new chairman, vice chairman, and council members of the Hong Kong Bar Association. I would like to thank the previous Bar Council, especially our former chairman, Mr. Victor Dawes, SC, and all the council members for serving the Bar, the Hong Kong legal profession, and the general public over the past 3 years. Around 3/4 of the members of the previous Bar Council have been retained or re-elected this term. This demonstrates the unity of the Bar and that we are heading in the same direction. Being elected is not only an honour for us, but is also a mission. Safeguarding the rule of law and the independence of the judiciary has always been a core value of the Hong Kong Bar Association. The Bar has adhered to these values unswervingly for the last 75 years and will always continue to do so. Last year, the Hong Kong SAR government has discharged its important constitutional responsibility by enacting legislation pursuant to Article 23 of the Basic Law. That legislation has been in effect for about 1 year. The courts will be hearing such cases in the coming months and no doubt years. At the same time, some in society have expressed a view that Hong Kong's economic development will be the focus of our society in 2025. The economy and the rule of law are obviously not mutually exclusive, but on the contrary, go hand in hand in ensuring long-term prosperity and stability for Hong Kong. As a professional body, the Hong Kong Bar Association will continue to maintain its professionalism and continue to express our professional views on major rule of law issues from a legal perspective. The bar is an important component in the system of administration of justice in Hong Kong. Now, a fair trial, of course, requires not only an independent judiciary, but access to litigants to legal representation, particularly in criminal cases. Our members followed the cab rank rule and represented different parties in court to safeguard their rights as protected by law. Another important responsibility of the bar is to self-regulate our members pursuant to the Legal Practitioners Ordinance and our own Code of Conduct, so as to maintain the highest professional and ethical standards and provide the highest quality legal services to the public. The bar's regulatory system is independent, fair, and has been effective. The newly elected Bar Council will continue to discharge this important function under this mechanism. The bar has been established in Hong Kong for over 75 years and has always served our community in many ways. Our Bar Free Legal Service Scheme has in the past 24 years mainly provided assistance in appeals for cases with reasonable prospects but where litigants had limited resources. In the past 10 years, we received around 2,450 requests. In nearly one quarter of those cases, our members have provided legal advice or personally represented cases in court. Some cases were successfully appealed to the Court of Final Appeal. The bar is exploring the possibility of providing more extensive free legal services to the members of the public in Hong Kong. Cultivating legal talents for the country has also been the focus of the bar for many years. We've established programs on common law and international arbitration courses in Beijing, Shanghai, Sichuan, Zhejiang, which we are committed to and will continue, and resources permitting, will further expand. Lastly, Chinese New Year is approaching, and we wish everyone a healthy and happy Year of the Snake.
唔該曬主席嘅開場發言。由於新班子咧隨即咧馬上要開會啊，咁所以請記者朋友咧提問嘅時候盡量精簡。發問之前咧，亦都請你講出你嘅姓名同埋所代表嘅傳媒機構。It's now question time, as they will convene a meeting shortly. Please ask precise questions and also state your name and the media organization you're representing. So it's question time. SCMP Wilma. Pass the mic to her. Please pass the mic to her.
多謝毛大律師，我係點詢問記者，而家係有兩個小問題嘅。第一，即係你點睇之前即係美國前副總統彭斯啦，佢縮短商業活動嘅時候，即係就嗰黎智英嘅案件有一啲評論嘅。咁啊，另外一個就係未來點樣可以幫助香港強化內地外通嘅優勢？唔該晒。
我答第一條問題先，多謝你問題啦。咁我哋就唔會去過問個別人士嗰個言論啦。咁我哋就希望全部嘅案件咧，特別係刑事案啦，當然民事案都會，特別係刑事案咧，仲係處理當中咧。咁希望所有人士咧，包括公眾人士咧，係去言論嘅時候咧要小心，因為我哋唔想影響到嗰個司法嗰個進行嗰個過程。咁所以我哋希望係所有人士都係要小心呢樣嘢。另外一方面就係話其實如果大律師公會嚟講咧，我哋喺過去1年咧，同埋其實都2、3年㗎，我哋喺唔同嘅場合啦或者城市咧係去推薦香港法律服務。咁我哋呢個工作會繼續嘅。
好，下一條問題，明報 Elvin。
好，先生我想先問咧，即係你頭先一開頭提及咧，你4/3嘅 cabinet member 咧係留任啦。你嘅意思咧係咪即係你期望可以延續即係上一任嘅作風咧？即係尤其同即係政府啊、中央政府咧。第二咧就係頭先你有提到即係經濟發展嗰個關係啦。其實 CJ 咧即係過去2屆嘅 Open Legal 人咧都有提醒話，即係我哋唔應該淨係喺國安嘅。但係與此同時咧，即係你知道政府或者有啲執法部門咧都比較強調國安。其實喺即係所謂拼經濟嘅時候咧，你會唔會都期望政府可以即係統一口徑，或者通交少少國安咧？最後係即係個 MPJ 嗰度，你有冇咩即係 見解去點樣去解決呢個即係 overseas MPJ 呢個問題咧？
好多謝問題，3條問題。第一條問題就係關於我哋嗰個執委會嗰個成員啦。咁我哋其實有25名啦。咁同過去一樣咧，通常大部分咧係會留任或者再次當選啦。咁所以其實嗰個比例同我哋慣常嘅差唔多，冇乜大變化。咁當然都會有啲新血啦，亦都有一啲新進嘅大律師係會加入執委會。咁有新血係好事嚟嘅。咁我哋嗰個方針其實過去嗰2-3年咧都係冇乜變嘅。其實同過去3年前都係亦都冇分別。我哋都係會繼續維護法治、司法獨立，同埋喺香港同埋喺海外解釋香港嗰個司法制度啦，同每一個司法制度一樣都有挑戰。咁我哋都會係喺唔同嘅地方去解釋呢啲俾市民聽嘅。第二方面呢，就係嗰個第3條係嗰個海外嗰個非常任法官嗰度。咁我哋其實海外非常任法官呢係一個好特別，我哋基本法係有提供嘅一個制度啦。咁香港法律界同埋我相信大部分市民都一樣呢，係支持呢個制度嘅。咁暫時嚟講呢，非常任法官如果海外嘅有6名，4名就來自澳洲，2名來自英國。咁我了解就係暫時呢，雖然6名係比之前嗰個數目可能少咗啲，但係唔影響終審法院嗰個工作。咁我哋當然希望會有新嘅法官被委任啦，就緊海外非常任法官係有經驗，因為我哋睇到過往嗰20幾年呢，其實佢哋對香港嗰個法治嗰個貢獻呢係非常有貢獻嘅，同埋佢哋都非常有經驗。咁當然我哋了解到，因為一啲因素啦，有部分嘅法官而家就遇上揾新嘅法官會有一定嘅挑戰啦。但係我哋相信，我哋都係樂觀嘅。我哋相信係會有新嘅法官會加入嘅，有足夠嘅經驗同埋可以協助到中院去處理佢哋嗰個司法工作。你第2條問題我唔記得咗，唔好意思。聘經制係我哋頭先開場白其實都有講過嘅。我哋認為其實香港經濟發展同埋作為一個國際金融中心同埋一個法律服務中心咧，法治係非常緊要嘅。咁我哋都希望喺香港同埋海外咧，其實唔同嘅人士咧係可以睇到香港實際情況嘅。
下條呢位，俾支咪嗰位唔該。係。
老師想問下新任公會，頭先你講會有挑戰啦，你預計係會面對啲咩嘅挑戰啦？跟另外就係你都經歷咗3屆同唔同主席嘅合作啦，咁上一屆公會都恢復翻訪京權啦，想問下你點樣睇同北京嘅關係上面係有咩轉變？
你代表邊個
？Cable 同 Cheryl 唔該。
其實由90年代中咧，公會已經係有訪京呢個做法嘅。咁當然過去幾年1-2年，因為疫情同埋其他理由咧，係停咗幾年嘅。但我哋而家恢復翻。咁我哋公會同埋我哋嘅會員咧，相信同埋希望咧多溝通咧，係對公會同埋對香港社會係好嘅。咁我哋每一次同上北京咧，其實都係有坦誠嘅交流。咁我哋認為呢樣嘢咧，繼續係好事嚟嘅。你另外一條問題係我漏咗，唔好意思。
頭先就係你預計嚟緊會有
挑戰。其實挑戰就好難去預計嘅，年年都有，呢個係唯一肯定嘅。但係你話乜嘢類型嘅挑戰，就暫時嚟講就未知。但係年年都有，呢個就肯定啦。
下一條呢位。請講出你嘅傳媒機構同你嘅。
你好，商台㗎。想問下咧，舊年23條諮詢嘅時候咧，公會就有提出到收窄煽動罪啦，同埋境外干預罪等等嘅建議，不過就未有獲得政府接納咯。都想知道公會未來會唔會繼續提出，或者有冇其他關注嘅法律問題會想提出嚟？唔該。
我哋喺諮詢期嗰陣時，其實咧就遞交咗一個都幾詳盡嘅報告嘅。咁當然我哋有部分嘅建議咧，政府係有採納；有部分嘅建議咧，政府係冇採納嘅。咁暫時嚟講，我哋會密切留意 案件啦，因為法庭當然會處理嗰啲案件，部分案件呢亦都有比較一定有嘅可能呢係可能會上訴嘅，咁我哋會密切留意。
Okay, maybe we allow questions in English now. SCMP may.
Willard from SMP. First question, are there any new goals you want to achieve in terms of strengthening ties with Beijing? And the second question is, do you think the current overseas MPGs are sufficient in Hong Kong? Do you think it is better to restore the number back to the level of before the pandemic? Thank you.
Thank you very much. In terms of the goals, I mean, of course the situation changes every year, but in terms of the important goals, those are actually set out in our objects. So those are defending the rule of law, defending judicial independence. All of these don't change. Obviously, the way the challenges develop year to year, this will change, but our goals and our broad direction doesn't change. We, of course, want to communicate with any and all stakeholders to explain to them the situation in Hong Kong, because we think that communication is very important. In terms of the overseas non-permanent judges, of course, at its height, we probably had somewhat over 10. At the moment, there are 6, 4 who were originally judges in Australia, 2 in the United Kingdom. 2 of the Australian judges were, in fact, appointed in the last 2 years. So, of course, we welcome this because the bar and the legal professions support the continuation of participation of overseas non-permanent judges in our final court. We understand that at the moment, there's no operational issue, but obviously we would welcome the appointment of further such experienced jurists to our court. We believe that it strengthens Hong Kong as a jurisdiction and is also supported by members of the public.
呢位男士先生，請你講出你嘅名字同埋全名機構，唔該。
Hi, Holmes from AFP. I have 2 questions. LegCo is debating the protection of critical infrastructures computer systems bill. So did the Bar Association put forward any opinion in the consultation last year? And do you foresee the Bar Association having any occasion to speak up on this bill in the near future? My second question is on Monday, your predecessor called on Hong Kong authorities to exercise national security powers in a considered and proportionate manner. That was what he said. Do you think that was the case since the NSO was enacted in 2020?
Thank you. Insofar as your first question is concerned, I must confess I can't give you the answer straight away. I'll have to check whether we provided a consultation. Our usual policy is to try, when we have the resources, to comment on all pieces of legislation in Hong Kong, in particular those we believe have an impact on citizens and in particular rights and freedoms. So as a matter of general policy, we normally try to provide our observations from a legal perspective. Obviously, we have limited resources, but I'll check on that. Insofar as you're referring to what Victor Dulles SC mentioned at the opening of the legal year, I think what he was saying is that obviously all rights which are granted to the executive by legislative power have to be exercised responsibly. And the greater the power, the greater the responsibility, and therefore the more caution those who have the power should exercise before they exercise those powers. I think that's a salutary principle which applies to all forms of legislation everywhere.
The question was whether it was, in your view, was it exercised in that way since 2020?
I think it's a bit of I mean, all questions of whether or not executive powers have been exercised properly involve some degree of judgment, possibly political judgment. In terms of the legal perspective, all we will say is it's a matter of general law and general rule. The wider the power, the more caution and circumspection should be applied before exercising it.
時間關係，我哋最後一條問題，因為要開會。呢位藍色頸巾嘅你嘅傳媒機構同埋
你好 TVB 啊，唔該，想請問下咧，即係啱啱都有講過話，其實一路以嚟都有訪京咁樣嘅計劃啦。咁會唔會話今年而家即係啱啱上任啦，未來有冇已經有計劃話要訪京咧？同埋如果見到一啲內地嘅部委嘅話，有冇話有啲咩意見想反映咧？唔該晒。
嗱，訪京團其實我之前都講過啦，90年代開始咧，其實大律師公會執委會係有一個傳統係大概冇確實就大概1年1度 係會上京嘅。咁我哋會去交流意見啦，同埋分享我哋對香港嗰個發展啦，尤其是係同法律又或者係司法制度有關嘅問題啦。咁我哋會喺適當嘅時候，如果定咗日嘅時候，我哋會有公佈嘅。咁另外一方面就係話我哋會分享啲乜嘢咧？其實一般嚟講，我哋都係關於法律、法庭同埋基本法落實嘅問題去分享嘅。
好，今日記者會結束。The stand-up now comes to an end. Thank you very much indeed.